Churches are grounded and growing. So we use this to categorize. We want to plant churches that are grounded in Reformed theology and growing, that is able to go beyond 100 people. We don't just want to plant churches that, you can get to 100 and then you stop. We want to have growing churches. The grounded thing for mine is who you are, what you bring to it. Some practical things that I think are essential. You've got to then be careful about who you are and who you choose in leadership. The first priority and principle is that they hold firmly to the trustworthy, as you've been talking about. That's got to be more important than ministry skills, even, than leadership skills. I think we get that generally, that's important. In a church plant, don't give in to fear and compromise on those kind of things, because that church planting is terribly vulnerable. I've got nothing and no one, and I need to be a certain size by a certain time, otherwise I've got no money. So don't give in to fear. A couple of little other things, these are quite principles, things we did that I thought were helpful. Our general staff meeting every week forever, we spend the first hour in Bible study, prayer time together. That's a powerfully important thing. Our staff attacks, I think you call it, staff retreat. In the first 5 years, I invited a theological lecturer to come and spend an afternoon with us in the 3-day conference. And some of the guys used to complain because it wasn't very efficient. We had a lot of business to get through. But what it did was it kept saying that we care about theology and growing the Word and so on. That kind of stuff, I think, has built a culture of the grounded dimension to us. It's been very important. Book reading, I make all the staff read theological books and meet with me 6-7 times a year. So we have a staff reading group, and so twice a term we'll meet for an afternoon and discuss the book we're reading. And that's been hugely helpful, especially young guys coming through, but also just the culture. In terms of growing, I think the key principle for me there is you've got to build capacity. You've got to work out ways of building the trellis. You've heard the Col Marshall trellis and the vine thing. You've got to invest in the trellis and not let Col convince you that trellis work isn't critical. So if you don't know, it's a book that makes the point that we're trying to grow a vine, which is the spiritual health and growth of a community of people. You need a trellis to put the vine on so that it has shape. But the thing you're doing is not the trellis, the thing you're really about is the vine. That's a helpful illustration. My problem is that it keeps conveying the sense that the trellis is all about mowing lawns, getting the sound system right, putting out chairs. You don't want to do any of that stuff. And so when you're couched like that, no one wants to do any trellis work. But my point is there's another kind of trellis, which is the systematic creation of systems that multiply vine. They don't just hold it up, they actually multiply who you are. That's the big principle, I reckon. Learning how to be a multiplier.
How do you do that in the early stages? You've got limited leaders.
I think early on you've got to have clear in your mind what your strategy to get there. So you've got to articulate, write it down. What is my strategy for incorporating newcomers? What's my strategy for, that the M structure for mine is a progression. So magnification, membership, maturity, ministry, mission. It's actually a movement through. How am I going to move people from knowing who God is and living for Him into membership of Church Incorporated, into maturing, into ministry, into leadership and mission? Don't let that just happen. You've got to articulate what's the steps, what's the process. And early on, when you've got nothing and no one, it's you, certainly. But you need to be thinking in terms of, when I find good people, what's the framework of thinking I'm going to plug them into to begin building the capacity? Where's the next person going to go? Who am I praying for and looking for to help me develop and build this teamwork? I suspect most guys I talk to, that just happens by accident. 2 years down the track, we've got a guy who loves youth and he's just doing it. I need to be more intentional and do it. And so that's why for mine the maturity work is more important than, say, the youth work early on. Now, talking to Paul last night, there's other things you might want to say on that, but the engine that drives our work is grounded, mature, deepened. You've got to get into that stuff. So finding people who can partner you in that, learning how to hand on to them and develop them in leadership, that's your first big key.